Oh, we are back and we are better than ever. This is the second episode of what is this here? 2025? Yes, it is
Yeah.
2025. Festival of the Living Dead, a Tubi original, spiritual sequel to I Know the Living Dead, of course.
No, I didn't.
Listen, I'm just going by what I read.
I'd almost
I
call it
know,
a
I'm
direct
sorry.
sequel.
Yeah, it's definitely a sequel. Unofficial sequel, maybe, but it's definitely a sequel.
It's public domain, so it's an official sequel. It's just a different universe, if you want to call it that.
I
or
don't
something.
think. I don't think it would make it to any box sets, and I've seen some complete box sets that put some pretty bad stuff in.
I disagree. I want a Tubi box set with this at the helm.
Well, made by Tubi. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, I love it. I'm ready for this one because I'm going to defend this movie. I enjoyed this. Okay.
Oh no, I had a good time with this movie too. But all right. Let's start it with this.
Your show. That's why I'm shutting up.
Let's start it like this. I'm gonna go to round table. I'm just gonna say if I liked it or not. We'll do that. I want to start real quick. I like the movie. James, what about you?
It was okay.
Trevor?
I didn't like the movie.
Mick?
I liked it.
Not at all.
Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because here's how it's gonna go now. I want Jason and Trevor to start it off with why they don't like it. Whoever can start can go, and then after Jason, Trevor, after Trevor, Jason, and then James, because you said it was okay, because I want to see what people hated or whatever.
All right.
But before we do all that, let's do our early ratings. That way, if anybody's mind changes, we have the whole episode to change. And I'll kick it off with you, James.
I'm going to go with a 6.
6. Mick?
No, I want to go last.
I'll let you go second to last, good sir.
Okay.
How about you, Jason? You got a score?
2.
Trevor?
I'm going to stick with it 1.5.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, but I have a feeling that Mick here is going to be like a filmmaker talking to me, being Rex Reed and being a total critical asshole. But
no. I love the critical. I love your takes. Don't do that. I'm gonna.
I know. It's kind of funny.
It's not me versus you. It's just I love when there's differing opinions.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm so excited to get into it.
Oh yeah, because you're taking something different that I brought to the movie, and that's really awesome.
Yeah. What about you? Can hate the movie all you want. Jason's hating it, but I'm kidding. You're the only one that hated it, though. If he said it, I'd say him.
How about you, Mick?
7.5.
7.5.
Wow.
And I don't actually want to do, guys. I'm gonna say I love you. I want you to know that I'm looking at you. Not really, but I am. I love you, Trevor. I thought this was more charming and I had more fun with it than some of the Romero sequels.
And I gave this a 7. I had fun with it. I really had fun with it. I had a good time with it. And I will tell you my complaints when
I can't tell if Mick's pulling a Dan on us or
every time I say I like something that they can't believe, like they hated, like A Journey to the West. That happened too. I remember Casey was vitriolly mad at me because I like that movie. I was so excited to talk to you. Huh?
Who cares if you like the movie? It's a movie. It's potentially
no. It was just a funny story. And it's like, it's so, to me, it's like, and he was so like vitriolly angry because he couldn't tell if I liked it or not.
This is sorry.
Yeah, like it came off, or like they thought I was being condescending or like pretending. And I'm like, no, I loved the movie. And this, I had so much fun with. So I mean it. I'm telling you.
Okay, so you said for us to kick it off. The acting was something that really just I was hard to get into the story because of the acting. 2, I do want to say that the concept of this movie, like the zombie thing, has been cured, and this is 45 years later. I like that concept, and I want somebody to do that again because we haven't seen that very much. But it wasn't for me. Like a lot of the special effects, if you're gonna make the sequel to the Night of the Living Dead, at least make the zombies look like they were from Night of the Living Dead. I don't know. I just had a really tough time getting into it.
Can I challenge that one thought about making them look like? Is only because if you go to Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead, they don't look like they did in Night of the Living Dead. So, like, I could forgive that for me. So that's the only reason. That's like one thing for me about that. What you had said. I don't want to pick it apart.
No, you're fine. I couldn't remember what the zombies looked like because I'd seen Night of the Living Dead more recently than the other two, so I couldn't remember if they changed or not. But and I did catch that the lead character's name was Ash. I did like the granddaughter. I thought she was the shining star, and then her friend I thought also was pretty good with the acting.
Irish.
It's just everybody around them just really brought it down for me at least.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Who's up?
Trevor.
Well, I might have you guys actually explain some major loopholes. But back to what I said before about, you being a filmmaker, there, Mick, and me being Rex Reed, we're not going to fight. But what I brought to the film when I watched it was, I wasn't looking for high art. I wasn't looking at anything for that. But I was looking for enjoyability, the ability to follow something, the ability to care about characters. I didn't feel that worked, but I haven't looked up the budget, and on a really, really low budget, it was okay. So if a cinematographer handed this in to me, not that I'm a professor or anything, fuck no, but handed to me this as their final project, I'd give them a B-, because it's got a lot of great stuff. And it's a lot of stuff. Like, you're complaining about the special effects. Honestly, thinking about it, that's one of the charms about this movie is it uses, not necessarily well, but it attempts to use shadow and stuff like that to make up for its lack of budget. So it definitely has that indie spirit. I'm not gonna, shit on that. But the fact that she was supposed to be the granddaughter of the gentleman in Night of the Living Dead 1968, and by moving my head I missed that little bit. I mean, literally this film starts with a montage that explains everything in like 15 seconds. So no, it was not enjoyable. So
That's fair.
yeah.
It was good, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Live tonight.
10 o'clock Eastern time. Go to Troy Hill Talks YouTube channel. First episode, kicking it off, and I'm on there. Let's go. His co-host.
I'll be watching.
Get him going and all that good stuff. So Troy Hill Talks YouTube. Pull up. Tune in. Got a fun show planned for tonight.
Keep going back. Subscribe to Indie Escape. And
yes,
you got to keep following.
I'm gonna stay up past my bedtime to check out this show.
It's gonna be fun. Watch it live. I'm gonna watch it on the big screen too. I'm gonna try and text on my phone. I'm gonna watch it on the big screen.
Hell yeah.
So,
how about you, James?
Okay, my take. So I didn't catch on to. I missed it too for some reason. I don't know if I looked away or I didn't just pay attention to the montage where they're connecting the original. I didn't know that. I seen the picture. I was like, that looks familiar. But I was like, then my head automatically went, oh, her father was a cop fighting the zombies or something and died. I didn't even know it was connected to Living Dead. But my problem was I was kind of bored for the first half hour. I'm in the kitchen talking, acting like ass. For one, I hate, especially they don't look like high schoolers. They look like they're in their 20s. Fucking acting like immature assholes. Right? Pointing a fucking shotgun at a kid. And what the fuck? I was like, I hate people like that in real life. Like, it brought me a flashback in school. But I was so bored until the zombie shit started kicking in. Then that's when I started enjoying the movie.
I wasn't
like,
sure
if
when
there
that
was my
exactly
thing-
happened.
And my thing is,
It's about
all
15
zombie
minutes in.
movies,
Well,
it could be
I'm joking.
shitty or not. A zombie movie is a zombie movie. They're like sit back, and I enjoy them. They're not like my favorite, but I can never go wrong. Any zombie movie I put on, I can never go wrong. Even if it's bad, I laugh at it. I'm like, oh my fucking god, what's this? So it's like that. But I did enjoy after the zombies came to play when they actually got to the festival, when they broke down, when they crashed. I was like, okay, now it's going. Then I started hating that main guy. But the best character, Iris. That's my argument. I liked Iris more than the lead.
Yeah, Iris and Ash were the two shining stars.
Yeah.
I liked Legs.
Yo, that shit.
He was my man.
He was good. He was
He's the hero, man. Save him.
Yeah, he is. Okay, for what? Is he really? He says on fire. The zombies caught on fire and they're still walking away chasing people. So he's basically sacrificing
I
himself
don't
for
know
no
about
reason.
walking. But...
Well, no, he got bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said he got bit.
Oh, I thought he lied. I didn't know he really got bit. I thought he lied about it just to sacrifice himself. So for Iris,
well,
he told her that I'm affected. Go on. It don't matter. I'm going to hold him off. I thought it was a sacrifice. I thought it was a fake. I didn't know he really got bit.
I don't think
I didn't see the mark. I didn't know. Did they show it? I don't even remember.
That part, I don't know if they showed it quick.
It was like everything in this film. It
part
happens sometimes a little too quickly, or not with enough explanation. So.
And also with this, because I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the like the sequels and the remake, all that shit. The original, the zombies, like they could have survived it if they listened to the woman. They're really slow. We can walk right by them. So they did change the zombies because these ones run at you.
They mentioned
and
that
all that shit. So they do. So the newer ones, they have it where they actually do more.
They covered that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just have to say this real quick, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be a downer, but I did not enjoy the film. And
that's fine.
That's, I hear a lot of talk about whether or not, because this connects back to the 68 film and it's referential to the 68 film, is it actually a sequel? I would say best case scenario, it is a tribute film or a parody. Hoping more on the parody side because that makes me actually like the movie a little bit more. There were a lot of things that I don't know. I think, being at the third day of the gathering of the Juggalos, like 2 hours before it closes, would have been more of a fun festival than what they went to. I mean, like they show up and
like
there's
a
nobody.
fake Burning Man. It was like a Make-A-Wish. Timu Burning Man festival.
I know it was a Timu Burning Man, and I'm like, do something cool with it, like make a reference to Wicker Man or something, because I'm like, okay, if this film is all references, this is gonna be awesome. But and I'm sorry, but I watched it last night with my partner, and one of the things that I felt is these scenes that if put in the right way could have been AI generated. I felt that the dialogue was that predictable.
Oof. I highly disagree.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a stand on this one.
On the Soska sisters? Really? Like they're independent filmmakers who write and direct their own stuff. Like to think that AI.
Well,
I mean
that's the only plus to that is the fact that I didn't know it was connected to them.
I'm sorry, I got to take umbrage for that only because I do. We don't know a lot of high up corporations in the studio world that are doing that, and that's disgusting. I'm not saying you can't use AI as a tool for writing. I think it's a great tool to ask questions and have
I'm not saying.
So, but yeah, when it comes to the Soska sisters, they've written some good stuff before, and
I apologize. I did not.
Well, you don't have to apologize. Your opinion is valid to you. I disagree because. And
I can see where bringing that to the table would have made me think quite differently about the film. Like, you know, well, okay, so it's like, okay, we might talk about a film called The Dead Don't Die. The Dead Don't Die in itself is not a good film. But the fact that it is a Jarmusch film and connected to all his other works, and people bring his films to his films, it's awesome. So that's what I'm saying. That was my fault. I didn't do the research I should have, because I would have at least come to the film going, oh, this is going to go in a very specific direction. And like being a parody and all that kind of stuff would have been, I probably would have been much friendlier to the film. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. Yeah. No, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know it was them until I started watching. Thank you, first of all, Sturdy. Could I ask a quick favor before I get started on my review? Could you make me big for a moment? Just a special message, if I can. And I don't mean to pontificate in your podcast live, but I just want to say, guys, Los Angeles is suffering right now through the fires. You know, it was adopted home to me for a long time, and I urge you guys, maybe go donate to a Red Cross, you know, at different organizations as we know of, reputable ones. Just anyone you can help out with would be fantastic. I just wanted to push that out there. I'm sorry, Sturdy, I didn't want to take over anything, but it's just like kind of a big thing for me right now. And I was just hoping if I could pass it on to anybody watching or anything, if they would donate to help out. But that's all I got. And then I can come back to my review. I'm sorry to do that.
Good. No, that's a good message.
That's important
Definitely.
stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to Cali. If you can help, if you can afford to help, definitely do what you can. And if you're out there in Cali, be safe. Do what you can to be safe. Yeah. I'm thinking about you guys. I got people out there that I care about just as well. I don't know what part of California, but still, there's people there that I don't know that I care about that's going through some shit because they don't deserve that shit. That's fucked up.
For sure. And yeah, so but when coming back to Festival of the Living Dead, I had a really good time with this movie. I'm not grading this on the curve of like a Jim Jarmusch film. I'm more like, to me, this was, well, first off, I watched Street Trash from 2025 before.
Awesome film. Wait, 2025?
Yeah,
remake.
They remade it?
It's possibly the stupidest film I've ever seen in my life. So it's funny that we're kind of traded on this. So
wow, you don't remake a film that, oh, it's like, I've seen some films recently. I forget the name, but I watched one that was really creative and everything, very trauma-esque, but it just didn't have the filth that it truly needed to go.
This one does. It just didn't have the story or anything else. It was just kind of.
Well, yeah, Street Trash is an excellent film.
So, but coming back to Festival of the Living Dead, watching this, it was like it was kind of a breath of fresh air in horror for me. Because Night of the Living Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love this, that film. And this film, you know, I call it a sequel. Once that became public domain, we've seen it remade time and time again. We've seen tons and tons of things. But this was, to me, sort of a send-up, paying homage to Night of the Living Dead, but also, kind of continuing the story and maybe their own little world, because I see that they took the asteroid angle, which was introduced in the 68 version.
It was, and referenced the 68.
I thought that was amazing, and that they're playing that up for a new time where you have this sort of punk rock type feel they're going for, or whatever and God as a Zilla, I did not know was a real movie. I did not know it was
summer. Huh? Is it a bummer summer or summer bummer?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I just enjoyed from beginning to end. I love the opening montage. The music I thought was good. It does tell a story. Opening up on this, I did catch the connection with the rifle and making it Ben, her grandfather. I don't. I guess you can kind of play it off like he was going back to his family or something. I kind of played with that in my head, like, he died, but how does this work out? I don't know. I liked how it was connected to it. It was loosely, it wasn't overtly, but it also gave a background of why they are having this festival. You know, it's almost like to memorialize what happened back then, and now it's happening again because we see the comments coming back over. And it just kind of opened it up. I like the characters. Yeah, they were dopey. The waving the gun thing, of course we're not supposed to like him. He's a dipshit. That's a perfect way to, and especially in a low budget, in a way where you're writing, you know, especially, you know, the type of writing we see at this level, you know, which is a great level, but, and I'm not putting it down, but, you know, it's not on the A-list level. So, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm grading at that curve with, like Street Trash would fall under this because it was sort of similar in tone and stuff like that, but this nailed it, in my opinion. This for me, and not Street Trash, the old Street Trash. I'm talking about the new one that's coming out tomorrow. So, so we get to, you know, them going to the festival, working it in. And I just, from beginning to end, first of all, shout out to my boy Twisty Troy, who played that first zombie who attacks the car from CFF last year. I did a panel with him, and he is a great guy, and he's a contortionist. He's been in American Horror Story episodes. He's been all over the place.
Oh yeah, I know.
He plays that. He plays a very cool character. That was him, like, rising up, like, and I knew it too. I didn't look it up. I didn't look at anybody. The only one I knew was Catwoman from Gotham, who played the lead punk girl. Iris. No, which one was she?
No, she was Irish. She was
Irish. Ash was the main character.
Yeah.
And Destiny, another connection to CFF. The character Destiny is spelled the same way as our friend Destiny. So
nice.
I thought that was pretty cool too. I saw that in the credits. Anyway, from beginning to end, I thought it added a lot of depth to the characters and the arguments that were going on and, like, who they were. Like, I liked that she called him out. Was like, you're afraid of him. Why, you know? And they added this dynamic brother element to it, where he is a coward and he does do shitty things because his brother's a shitty person. Bringing in the little brother, which usually in a movie I'm like, don't add the kid, please don't.
I'm the same way. Yeah,
I did not feel that way with this kid. From you know, every choice he made, I was like, this works. I think this kid, you know, he jumped from the banister. That was a great character development. He's kind of a fearless kid. Yeah, he's scared, but he's a brave kid. So I shouldn't say fearless. So he's scared, but he's a brave kid, because they mentioned that. But and then kind of connecting it to, like, you know, that's kind of like his grandfather. You know, he was even sort of dressed like his grandfather in the beginning. You know, you know, there was a lot of heart that was and tribute that was paid to Night of the Living Dead, and I felt that. I thought this was a fun zombie movie. It doesn't blow anybody away. I mean, I'm not watching 28 Days Later, but I felt like I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't know it was the Soska Sisters movie either until after I started doing the research, and I was like, that was pleasantly surprised too, you know, to find out it was them. But it just, I don't know. I was charged through. I kind of had a really fun time. I would watch this movie again. Like, even all of the holes that I felt like they were filled, and we can talk about that more. But I don't know, it was a good time.
I'm glad you liked it, man, because I know how much you love Night of the Living Dead, so I'm really, really glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, for me, I'll start with the negative. I think my biggest negative with this was the dialogue, and I feel like there was too much. There were certain times where it was just going on too long, and other shit could have been going on. Like, for example, when I don't remember either one of the guys' names, but when the one brother takes the boy or whatever, and he's like, you know, meet us at the parking lot,
Yeah.
And the sister, she gets sidetracked. She goes, you know, saves Iris, but then they're under the thing, just sitting there talking. Like, there's just parts where they just stop and talk. Like, there's not zombies after them. Like, yo,
they had to make up. They already had an argument.
Yeah, I mean, it is a story. We do have to have resolution, but could I just add one thing to that? So was Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talking. Yeah, with the guy in the basement.
But they were like all in the house, and this is how they were spread out. You know what I mean? Like, again, she was trying to save her brother because he needed the shot or whatever.
But I just mean it's like a story element that the first one is obviously paying like homage. So I wouldn't compare this to, you know, like any normal zombie movie. It feels like they were directly trying to channel of Night of the Living Dead. So like a lot of these things that everyone's saying, I feel like they were trying to more channel that movie than zombies in a whole.
Well, so basically ignoring anything else that Romero and Russo did after Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Which was that was not pleasing to me. And I think that might be some of the major that we just I didn't feel it was a good choice.
I get it, but I mean,
seen a lot of other
Halloween
good-
has
better
done it
choices.
like 3 times, you know, like
Yeah.
so there's precedent set at least. And when the way I look at it is like it doesn't take away those other sequels. They exist. I can watch those right through, no problem. It just gives me another way to watch this. And I always appreciate if filmmakers are going to do that and pay some sort of homage. I see all of these was it public domains coming in, and we're seeing all these shitty movies being made because everybody wants to capitalize on whatever's coming out. Mickey Mouse is a killer now, you know, stupid shit. And I'm sorry, that just drives me crazy. That when I see movies like this, they're adding heart and adding a message of she wanted to commit suicide, and she described that in a beautiful way. And like how, and like I was listening to her, and I'm like, no, don't do that, don't do that. Like I'm even sharing, like I thought she delivered that so well, and it really hit me in such a beautiful way. And the imagery of her climbing up and the fire kind of, you know, coming down. I really thought this movie was well done, and I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm changing it up. I'm giving it an 8. Okay. I thought they did a good job with it, and also paying that respect to the past directly. You know, they wanted to just have that direct connection, and I'm okay with that in the franchises, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you know, to defend the film a little bit, the other Romero films aren't in the public domain, so anytime you start touching on that, you run that risk of putting something in there that they shouldn't have, and you know, keeping it just Night of the Living Dead. They're playing it safe in a good way.
Well, it's just still very fascinating to me that, I mean, I just, it was just not enjoyable.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
I don't want to. Well, okay, so I can't. Okay, so this is my stumbling block, and this is why I've been talking about sequels. Is, to me, if put into the guise of this is inspired by the '68 Night of the Living Dead, it falls more under like slash fiction to me almost. You know, as far as any major theme that came from this film, it is a beautiful one. And it's one that's been used so many times that you don't know real friendship until you find yourself on the brink. And that is very common, and it's very beautiful. And Ash and Iris, really awesome characters. I am legitimately giving a shout out to Legs, because I think some of the best writing was actually between the friendship, and they did romantic tension actually pretty darn well. And that was, you know, there's
but
no
by
doubt.
that, by your
I
rationale,
don't feel any of the characters representing enough or giving enough feeling that I would connect them with any character, much less Ben.
Oh yeah, but I mean, with so you're talking like, and I'm just trying to understand. Are you talking like a level of like acting, like the actors?
No, I mean, as far as like the, you know, the writing of the characters, the intensity, subtleness, and how the characters in themselves represent part of society at that point, politically, socially, but also a microcosm in a small space that's closing in on them. That's what makes that film amazing. And, you know, even reading the title, Festival of the Living Dead, Living Dead is thrown around, has been thrown around forever, mainly, if nothing else, because of the Russo and Romero fight.
Which is another offshoot from the first one.
Exactly. But
so like that's what I'm saying. Like it already.
Yeah, I didn't go in, and this is the thing. I don't think they're even using the public domain law, and the fact that you look at the equivalent of a poster, and I see it, and it doesn't bring at all Night of the Living Dead. It doesn't. It made me go, oh, this is going to be some teenager flick. But it could be fun. So if even just the art alone, in my opinion, would have been referential to 68 as far as that film, it would have at least made me going, oh, this is what they're thinking. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, what did you like about the movie?
Well, but can I just point, Trevor, by your rationale, does Wicked suck?
I haven't seen Wicked.
Okay, you gotta let me know though, because it is sort of like a continuation, right? Like, and that's a weird one because it's a prequel, sequel.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, so I mean, The Wiz. What do you call The Wiz?
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, The Wiz is a reimagining. Yeah, so
just as good as the original.
Well, I mean, Oz in itself says. I mean, we were talking franchises before the show. Oz is a franchise, and it's bombs material in itself is an interesting one to put side by side in this because they are not necessarily connected in a traditional universe, but they're referential a lot of the times. And this film is. I mean, the 68 Night of the Living Dead is definitely in. If I had to pick like top 10 horror films of all time, but also potentially the most politically significant film of the 1960s. That's a lot to live up to, guys.
Yeah, but remember when it came out, it was the same. Like people are low into this, like, what is this? Another cheesy horror movie? Like thinking of it as that low thing that's just, and that's what I feel about this charm of this movie comparatively to that. There's a charm there. And that I'm sorry, I argue that maybe Dawn of the Dead has a bit and Day, but like it definitely weakened over time. This had a charm to it as well, that low budget, like we're getting together, we're having fun. And that charm was there for Return of the Living Dead. That first one, it was there, and it was that it had, they share this independent spirit that I feel like watching this. And comparatively, I know I'm a filmmaker, but I'm also, I'm 14 years a movie reviewer as well. So when I look at it, I try to look at it objectively as well and go into it. And that's why when it refreshed me to come out of this movie with that charm and that connection and that and taking new direction with the comet angle and choosing to put it in a festival, I thought was very interesting. And they filmed it in Pennsylvania, so that was also fun. And there was a spiritual sequel element to this that I did feel, in that, I'm not trying to be holy and praise here, but I mean this as a film fan. Like, I was like, this is one that I do think I might watch again, and I think I would enjoy.
I think you've convinced me to watch it again, honestly. Because my rating has changed over the course of talking about this, because I really did like those two main leads, and I liked the boy. I forgot about the boy, and at the end when he's driving the car and he pulls up, he pops that guy in the face.
Hell
so
yeah!
I'm changing my review to a 4.5 because I did like those elements of this movie and just mixed passion behind it. Because I'm one of those people, like, even if I don't like a movie, I'm always happy when somebody loves a movie, and that fantastic.
I appreciate that.
And I like that you brought that part up about the kid, Jason, because that's when he says the line of the scared line of being scared. He's like, it's okay to be scared and do something as long as you're doing the right thing. I forgot what he said verbatim.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I knew he was gonna grab that gun from as soon as they seen him look at it the first time he looked at it.
Yeah, they hinted at it a couple times.
And I'm just like, yeah, he's gonna get that gun.
Even the guy driving looked at the kid scene, looking at the gun. Like he knew that the kid's gonna go try to grab that gun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna argue from a writing standpoint too, screenwriting standpoint, which we talked about, like I've done. This was that whole opening element in the house was necessary because it built every character up and told you the story of who exactly they are.
Yeah,
and who they're going to be in
They
this.
were very much archetypes, in my opinion.
Which, yeah, but
it was
Star Wars is archetypes of Conrad.
Okay,
and
so
you can go
I'm
anywhere.
Sorry to interrupt, but it goes back to my having trouble in any way putting this beyond a parody or a tribute, because okay, Night of the Living Dead is important because of its independent film spirit and things of that nature. It is very important in its rather untraditional style of storytelling. But most importantly, Night of the Living Dead, coming out in 1968, had amazing, massive social, political, cinematic reverberations around the world.
This is on Tubi, Trevor.
Yeah, but it's on Tubi. But here, I'm that's the thing.
Yeah, but then why should Return of the Living Dead exist? Which is
because it was Russo, and it's very well written, and it is.
I understand that, but that's like telling me you're telling me that now these other filmmakers that are indie, because they didn't hit it out of the park like Romero did with Night of the Living Dead, it shouldn't be made. And it's still, there's an artistic element to this movie and how it was written. There was love put into the words into this. I could tell, because they were telling stories through all of these characters. I didn't mind the talking, because the talking added elements of heart that you don't find in many zombie movies that I have seen in the last 40 years. So if we're talking about bad zombie movies and we're putting this down as the worst, I have to take umbrage to that, because I can hand out 7 billion that have been made in the past 25 years that are probably way worse. And of course, I'm not talking about the greats, the true greats, but was it Danny Trejo versus the Zombies, which I think is an actual movie? Zombie alligators. Like, I mean, are we really splitting hairs? There was actual love that went into this movie, and you can tell. And I feel I have to defend it. And I'm not, but I also want you to know that I'm not coming at any one person or their review. I'm coming at this with the enthusiasm I want to bring to the review.
Which is awesome.
That solely is.
It's really awesome.
I'm really loving this. And what I'm really loving about this, Trevor, is this is the first time I've seen you really not like a movie. And I was honestly waiting for it just to see this side of it, because listen, me and James have seen a lot of bad shit together as far as the reviews as far as having the discussion of these movies sucking or whatever.
Blood Lake.
That's that. If you want to see James yelling and swearing, watch the first Blood Lake episode we did. Hilarious. But no, I do enjoy like what Malik was saying earlier about the difference of opinions, because it makes the conversation more interesting, more entertaining. And as far as the movie goes, I had a good time with it. I really did. It wasn't as nowhere near, really quick, because I said this last week, nowhere near as good as last week's movie. And of course, rated on a different type of scale, different type of story, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
no, but I'm saying that for a reason, though. Because last week, what I was saying about the movie last week when we were reviewing about how excellent the movie was, but I was like, I'm hoping next week's, once it hit that wheel, I was like, I'm hoping next week is more fun. And it was more fun. It wasn't a better movie, but it was definitely more fun. And I just had an excellent time with the movie, and I liked those. I did like those little elements. I know they were quick, but they're the quick things of how, they showed Ben's picture, or they showed the gun hanging up over the thing before the dude grabbed it and all that other stuff. Just those little things, because like you were saying earlier, it make sense as to why this is happening and why they're having the festival.
But she have the gun.
I wish they did better with the festival and did a little bit more with the festival, but I understand at the same time with the indie budget, you can only do so much. But I just wish they could have I don't know what exactly, but I just wish they could have did something a little bit better with the festival. I'm not mad at the car breaking down or the accident and all that because you had to get it going somehow. You had to get the story going, the suspense going, and all that craziness somehow. I didn't like either one of the brothers. The boyfriend and his brother.
They set up. You're not supposed to.
Oh no, you're not.
They are the bad guys.
I kind of didn't like Ashley beginning either. How she was acting towards the boyfriend, because it's like real life shit, where you get in love and you just change your whole like personality and everything. Like
which drills home their conversation under the stage.
Yeah, and you have to remember, because I know people are saying like they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing a bunch of stupid shit. In this movie, they're teenagers. In this movie, they're in high school, so they're gonna do all the dumb shit they did, and then some.
Yeah, and also
until Child Protective Services is called.
But still,
and think about it. Like half time in real life, they don't get called, unfortunately.
Well,
but but like
that was a bad choice. Let's be honest. Iris and Legs made a bad fucking choice. That honestly
is his name
didn't make much sense.
I missed that.
I don't. Me too. I missed that. I
don't know. Is his name actually Legs? Because like you keep saying it, I'm just going.
I don't know. At one point, one of the characters called him Legs.
I mean,
I know that one of the might have been couldn't find it, but I didn't know who the actor was.
Narcissistic asshole that called him that, but
they called him. Okay,
so yeah, perfect. There's precedent, so it's set. So the name,
so he is at least in a negative connotation referred that way, which is horrible. But I actually found him the most likable of the characters.
His nickname was Blaze. But
Blaze.
That's right. Legs works. Legs makes sense.
Well, look at the whole. So, okay, so they should probably never not anything pertaining to the fact that the guy's a massive stoner, letting him alone with the child and the two assholes with a gun. Really, really bad idea. But I got to give this guy amazing credit that when shit goes down, he flops on that kid and protects that kid. And that was a character that I was like, this character is just here for this, but this is the only one I really like in the whole damn movie. I'm like, this guy's got fucking chutzpah. I mean,
the thing is, he put blood on him. He just laid there because he already looked like he got ripped apart.
Man. I mean, I'd want him on my team if I was battling zombies.
Yeah,
and not just because you could throw him. So, sorry.
Send me. Footage. I'm cutting that clip because if you don't cut that clip of like, is his name actually Legs? Oh yeah, I called him Legs. Oh, okay, so there's precedence. No, his name is Blaze, and that's just the greatest fucking thing I've heard all day.
Right?
That went from offensive to offensive in 0.6.
And I was going along with it because I was like, hey, his name is Legs, because I remember something like it does like Blaze. So I didn't even catch it. I was like, oh shit, maybe his nickname was Legs.
Honestly, I wish it was.
I just thought he was easy going. I mean, and had a great sarcastic sense of humor, like most stoners.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Beautiful.
And showed emotion. He had a crush on Iris.
They had that heroic.
That was adorable.
He had a heroic.
He was going to confess to her, but then got sidetracked because the kid came in, I think.
But he's that guy. He's a virtuous guy, and I love that. Yeah, he was such a great character. Like, but
oh shit, that's Superman's son. He fell off a horse too.
Jesus Christ!
Somebody had to say and it was me.
That is not the sequel I wanted this to be. What's the worst sequel now, Trevor?
Huh?
Sturdy Joker, this movie.
Hey, I didn't say.
There are really bad sequels. I just can't get I can't get my head around putting this in some kind of canon. And I know Living Dead concepts and it's in public domain, but I would, if given the chance to rewatch, I would probably watch the Dr. Butcher MD cut of that film versus this film again. and that's a pretty painful film.
When they release the box sets of this with the Romero films, I'm gonna buy it for you, Trevor.
They just released a box set of everything that's canon.
No, I meant with the festival. With the festival.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, I was because they actually I think it was Australia just released a Blu-ray and 4K like collection that has been deemed canon. So this was interesting that this came up because this is, you know, it's a official release. So
speaking of physical media, which big proponent all of us, but like I went down to the thrift shop and I picked up a whole bunch of movies that I either haven't seen or I didn't have. So if you're ever looking for that, guys, physical media, go get it. They're fucking it up.
Yes, they are.
I'm so sorry to pontificate again on your show, Sturdy, but I'm gonna have to say this because I'm the movie guy. I'm the movie guy. No, is at best, but my point is as much as you guys preserving and just all of this stuff when it comes to film industry, not just physical media, but like the even the lore of it, like and stuff like that all goes with it, and the glitz, glamour, and the reality, all of it combined. But I just want to say, get your physical media. I know I sound like this sounds bad, but they truly are attacking your physical. They truly are attacking movies. In a huge way. They're taking them from us and charging you more, or they're taking them from us and putting them in vaults and not selling them anymore, so you can't get them. You don't truly own any digital stuff you buy. But also, if you go on, they are editing movies on Prime. They did it to It's a Wonderful Life. They cut out, and I'm not kidding, they cut out where George tries to commit suicide, saves Clarence instead, of course, and then Clarence convinces him with a little editing trick, and the movie is over. It cuts to George running back home to his family. The entire him not existing is gone. The element of the movie. That movie I can do a 12-part series on why that fucking movie is important and nobody gets it. But honestly, it's disgusting that they're clipping movies. This is art and it should be treated that way, and it's disgusting. So buy physical media. And if you want to go rent it, there's a perfect place to do it. We have one in every town, every county, all over. The library. Go rent it from the library. They will have it. Oh my god. And if they don't have it, be nice, go to the thrift store and buy it for them.
I am so glad that I own that on physical media, because how do you have that movie without him not existing? Like that is the movie.
Yep.
That whole
that's the most parody part of the movie too.
I am also a big physical media guy. 100%. Your internet goes out, you can enjoy a movie still. The quality is better because you don't have to worry about internet issues.
So, I actually had that. I love that you both are bringing this up, because that actually, I was telling you guys about it. It was about a month ago, and my internet was down for however long it was, I think a full day. And I was like, fuck. I came up here. I grabbed my PS4 at the time. No, I forgot when it was, but I grabbed my PS4, brought that shit downstairs, hooked that up, and me and the wife, I forgot what the hell we watched. I know one movie we watched. One night we watched The Grudge, and then I don't know if it was my Martin DVDs or what, or it was something that I just kept watching every night. It could have been Batman. I don't remember what, but I was like, let me just pull these out because this other shit's dead. So yeah, physical media is
the same thing, guys.
Shows, movies, games. Yes, video games, because they do delete them off of the thingy as well. So yeah, physical media is important.
Oh, I just want to chime in because Mick definitely knows I'm a big physical media person. Physical media is exceedingly important, number one, because as Mick said, just because the internet says, you can find anything, that doesn't mean there's not. I mean, I could list off, 10 8 to 9 rating films that are still only available on VHS. There's so much that hasn't even gotten licensed to be on any of these streaming services, and it goes as far as Kindle. I don't know if anybody ever really read the small print but Amazon has the right to take your book away any fucking time it wants.
Mm-hmm.
Same with movies and stuff. If they lose the license, then you lose the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Now,
I learned
they're
that
about to ban a lot of books.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's going to get hard for us media collectors. We know it. We're on the precipice of potential tariffs and all kind of things, many of which would come out of China, Mexico, Germany. These are usually where a lot of the pressing is done. So, as a physical media collector, and this is yet again, as you said, Mick, this is a shout out to everybody. If somebody releases a special edition of a movie that you just love, please buy it, because these tariffs and things could kill companies like Vinegar Syndrome, which in the past literally 2 weeks released Looking for Mr. Goodbar in this beautiful thing with essays, everything you would want to know about the film, and
True
also
Love.
The Keep by Michael Mann, and everything you would want to know. This is what beautiful physical media is. And it's been my hyperfixation all my life, but it is also one of the few things I know I'm going to be able to pass on to my children. And they love it. And they know not to just give this to a library. Libraries are great, but, this is, a time capsule. And, so yeah, physical media is very important.
But even to add to that, and I know I sound again like an apocalyptic movie guy, cinephile here. It goes deeper than that. Like now, if they're cutting these things, if they're editing them in certain ways, how long until Superman's the bad guy? What are we going to get to? What clever ways are we going to go? And it's disturbing. It really is, because these are our stories. These are our emotions. If civilization didn't go on one day and like down the line aliens showed up and they found a vault of movies, they would have an idea of what humanity was like. I'm not saying a complete realistic idea, but they would have a good idea, because these are our stories. These are what we've always been traveled from when it was spoken or drawings to spoken word to being written to all the way down, scrolls to books and all the way down. So it's important to preserve this stuff, and I'm gonna keep with that. Like I really do think, especially with every point Trevor just made, it is important. So take your time, and if you don't want to collect them yourselves, next time you buy some movies. I bought those. There was $20.
Yeah,
I got like 15 movies.
Support physical media in any way,
and I'll donate some to the library.
Oh yeah, like I was trying to get to was, as a physical media collector, and Jay, I know you are, and a lot of other people, it is kind of scary, because the physical media is going to go up in price. It is most likely going to happen, which is going to hurt. But as collectors, at least try to become more selective. But please don't stop supporting the little guys, the independents, the Severns, the Radiants, Vinegar Syndrome, and their 12,000 subsidiary labels. All these companies put so much time and love into cinema, and specifically cinema that is very rarely revisited. This is a labor of love and nothing else. Criterion even. This is like the vinyl. I think this is a piece of art that I don't want to see go away. And it is, because art tells a story, no matter what kind of art it is.
And honestly, as one of the few people who absolutely loved the Joker sequel, I need to buy that movie, because the guy that owns Warner Brothers is known for making stuff like that disappear. And I need to have it, because I said, I really like that movie. So I need to get myself a copy before Zaslav makes it vanish.
And those are all important. Those are all important, like lower budget distributors that we should be supporting through this. Absolutely. But again, your pockets will be hurting too. And if you want to collect stuff for yourself, go to those thrift stores, go to those
Thrift stores
small,
are
and they're
amazing.
all small business as well. So, you know, it helps. Every little bit of that helps to another small business or something like that, or charity, or consignment shop or stuff like that that carry stuff. So, and you never know.
You might even get lucky at a flea market.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just got a shop by my house that sells nothing but VHS, cassette tapes, and vinyl.
Oh,
Damn. Nice.
That's awesome.
See, there we go. The dead don't die. See, now this is one that's going to be interesting too, because I did like this movie, and
I never seen it. I never seen it.
And I don't think a lot of people are going to like it.
Yeah. Go into it expecting it to be very silly.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Yeah.
That's fair.
Great cast.
Speaking of back to the movie, I remembered a couple things I didn't like. So the festival itself, how the hell you have, they walk in, there's like nothing going on. There's like, it's supposed to be a festival. You think there's like thousands of people. It was like dead in the beginning. It's like nobody. But then on the, like 100 yards away, they're having a concert in a mosh pit. No one knows what's going on until they start tackling people.
It looked more like a yard concert.
Yeah, exactly.
For $1,000 a ticket.
Yeah, so that's
like 7 hours to get there.
But I completely agree. By the way,
Let's
first of all,
put
it seems like
kid in a car for 7 hours.
I found it funny that they had more extras when they had zombies than when they had goers. You know,
exactly.
In the same part. You know.
Also, the second part of that festival at the end, when the military set the bombing, they dropped like 10 bombs. How the hell are they far away enough where they're not getting hit?
Listen.
Or how does that military go? Oh, this is just the area. Let's bomb it right here. Zombies could be. It's been hours. Yeah. They could have been walking.
They're gone.
Again. What are we arguing here? What did how many movies have we watched where it's like he just rode that missile?
Well, you're right.
He just rode that missile. Like that's it. Like he just like
Munchausen.
Like I can suspend disbelief that they were far enough away down the road from the bombs that were being jetted in.
Just left the parking lot.
I'll suspend disbelief if you can, at least acknowledge that there are 10, almost 11 movies about cars flipping and going into space and taking out nuclear weapons.
You're right. And that's why I don't like Fast and the Furious.
But that's fine. But if we're blasting that, we got to at least where we go with this.
I did not approach this with any concept of it in any way, trying to make logical sense.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was. But
also, I still enjoyed it. Like I said, actually, I'm going to.
I'll make an argument about Night of the Living Dead. Is that really a zombie invasion? It always felt like there was like 10 people around.
Yeah, it was one house.
So, but it's still. It carries and for me, and I'm only speaking for me, suspension of disbelief on my end, it carries. I can get into it. I'm like, okay, we got away. Okay, cool. I mean, hey, you